Rebecca, it's me.
Oh my God. Where are you? We've been searching for you for days.
I don't know, some little town. I'm not sure how long I can stay on. I'm okay, just banged up.
You're scaring me. Are you hurt?
I'll heal. Listen, keep Ben close. Tell him I love him.
Wayward Pines, a graphic novel adaptation created by Gravitas Dream. Ethan wakes on damp moss beneath tall pines with no memory of how he arrived. The silence around him feels staged, as if the forest is holding its breath. He checks his pockets and finds a badge, unfamiliar keys, and a wallet that feels too light. Without context, every object seems like a clue, written in a foreign language. He follows a gravel road until neat houses and trimmed lawns appear like a mirage. A cheerful welcome sign stands at the entrance, but the streets beyond look strangely empty. A sudden migraine bends the edges of his vision and makes the street shimmer. He braces himself and tries to force the world back into focus. In a narrow alley, he encounters Mac, who seems to know him, until the figure resolves into a metal grill stamped with block letters. The sight leaves him dizzy and unsure of what is real. Beside a ditch, he finds shattered glass and torn metal, and memory snaps back in fragments of headlights and impact. He realizes he survived a crash, but not the questions that followed. He reaches a small hospital and insists he needs help, and answers. The building is clean and quiet in a way that feels rehearsed. Nurse Pam watches from the nurse's station with a practiced smile that never reaches her eyes. She flips through a chart as if his arrival was expected. Ethan wakes in a hospital bed with fresh bandages and a pounding head. He tries to remember the minutes between the crash and this room, but the timeline won't hold. Nurse Pam moves with calm precision, making the room feel controlled. When he asks to use a phone, she answers in circles. Sheriff Pope studies a thin case file under a desk lamp, expression hard and controlled. A set of keys and an evidence envelope sit beside his hand. Ethan leaves the hospital wearing borrowed clothes, feeling watched even in the sunlight. He chooses motion over waiting. At a phone booth, he tries numbers he knows by heart, but every attempt meets the same dead end. The ringing tone never arrives, only a flat silence. He opens his wallet and finds no cash, only an identification badge that suggests official work. The name on it matches what he's beginning to remember. He enters the small police office and waits beside a bulletin board of neat notices. The smell of disinfectant and paper makes him uneasy. Sheriff Pope tells him the truck driver is already in custody and insists there's nothing more to explain. He also admits one of the missing agents is gone, then offers a cold apology. Outside, Ethan walks past perfect lawns and painted fences that look too new for a rural town. The normal details feel like props arranged for his benefit. Beverly moves through her tidy kitchen, pulling a bottle of medicine from a cabinet. She hesitates, as if deciding whether kindness is safe. Ethan reaches Beverly's porch and knocks, listening for any sound inside. His hand trembles from pain he can't explain. Beverly stands at her doorway, holding a small bottle and a folded cloth. She glances up and down the street before stepping back. At a motel counter, Ethan counts coins that come up short. The shame of being trapped without money hits as hard as his headache. A sharp bite on his leg swells and burns, and confusion turns into fear. He tries to keep moving as the world tilts again. He lays on the sidewalk and stares at the bright sky, waiting for the dizziness to pass. The town stays quiet, as if no one wants to notice him. Beverly grips a payphone receiver and speaks quickly, eyes scanning the road. Her voice sounds urgent, even in the empty air. Ethan wakes back in a hospital room, disoriented by how easily time disappears. He sits up slowly, testing what his body will allow. Far away, Teresa buries a ring in a small patch of earth and covers it with careful hands. The gesture is a promise to remember, even without answers. Teresa spreads photos and notes across her kitchen table, searching for a thread that connects them. Grief makes her meticulous, refusing to let her stop. Ben sits at an empty desk and draws a house surrounded by tall lines like a fence. He presses the pencil hard, as if drawing could make a door appear. Pilcher watches a wall of monitors and scrolling readouts, calm as a man checking weather. A cup of coffee sits untouched beside his console. Kate stands beneath string lights and watches confetti drift across the pavement. Her smile looks practiced, like a mask worn for survival. Ethan sees Kate in passing and feels a jolt of recognition that doesn't match the town's polite surface. He senses she knows more than she's willing to say. Kate writes a short note and hides it before anyone can see. Her hands move fast, as if time is being stolen from her. A missing agent pushes through the trees, checking a map and compass with shaking hands. The forest seems to close in, making every direction feel wrong. Sheriff Pope seals an identification badge inside an evidence envelope and locks it away. His face shows no surprise, only resolve. Ethan tries the pharmacy door and finds it locked, the windows too spotless. He thinks of simple medicine, like a luxury. In a parking lot, his car is gone, leaving only tire marks and an empty space. He stands there holding the keys, stunned by how cleanly he's been cut off. The truck driver sits alone, staring at a paper cup that has gone cold. He looks tired, as if rehearsing a story he doesn't believe. Sheriff Pope prepares an interview room with a notebook and a harsh lamp. The ritual suggests he has done this many times. Ethan sits under the harsh light and forces himself to breathe slowly. He realizes that every answer he gives might become another trap. Nurse Pam watches the corridor like a gatekeeper, keys always within reach. Her calm looks like control. Ethan slips through the hospital hallway and takes a plastic key card from a counter. He keeps walking as if he belongs there. Beverly opens a small first aid kit and lays out gauze, tape, and tweezers in a neat line. Her steady hands contrast with her worried eyes. Ethan finds a small, raised spot under the skin, too precise to be natural. He presses it gently and feels something hard beneath. Beverly holds a tiny microchip on gauze and stares at it as if it's a confession. The truth arrives in silence before words can catch up. Ethan wraps his leg and stares at the microchip, sealed in a small vial. The idea of being tracked turns his stomach. He hides in an alley behind a dumpster and listens for footsteps that never appear. The town's quiet feels like surveillance, without sound. A figure in a yellow poncho stands under a streetlight, holding a closed pocket knife at their side. The stillness of the pose makes Ethan back away into shadow. Ethan reaches the edge of town and finds a towering chain-link fence that seems to go on forever. The barrier turns the valley into a neatly contained box. A trapped boy peers through a boarded window and clutches the wood with white knuckles. His eyes beg for help without making a sound. A solitary child kneels in the dirt and draws a rough map with a stick, glancing up only once. The map points toward a hidden place near the fence. Ethan studies the dirt map and memorizes it, then wipes it away with his boot. He moves quickly, afraid the clue will vanish with the wind. At the fence, Ethan finds ceramic insulators and a warning symbol that suggests a live barrier. He searches for any gap without touching the mesh. Beyond the fence, an Abby stands in the grass, not human and not animal, watching with unblinking black eyes. Its skin is pale and hairless, its arms long, its hands six-fingered with curved nails, and its mouth parts slightly to reveal small, sharp teeth. Pilcher observes an Abby through reinforced glass, noting its lean frame and strange proportions like a scientist studying weather. He treats the creature's presence as a fact, not a horror. Ethan retreats into a pine grove and crouches behind a fallen log, trying to slow his breathing. The fence and the creature rewrite everything he believed about escape. He finds a hidden tunnel entrance and steps inside with a flashlight, leaving daylight behind. The air smells of concrete and cold metal. A corridor opens into checkered tile and numbered doors under humming fluorescent lights. He follows the hall as cameras stare from ceiling corners. He enters a cold machine room filled with capsule-like pods connected to tubes and wires. The steady pulse of indicator lights makes the room feel like a sleeping city. Pilcher checks a control panel covered in gauges and printed numbers, then writes a note without hesitation. His calm suggests this system is exactly as he designed it. Ethan finds a wall map showing the town inside a sealed boundary, surrounded by wilderness. The image confirms that leaving on foot was never the real option. Pilcher offers Ethan a badge and a set of keys, describing leadership as a kind of necessary order. The offer sounds less like opportunity and more like a cage with better furniture. Ethan puts on the sheriff's uniform and looks at himself in the mirror, trying to recognize the man staring back. He realizes his choices are narrowing into a single path. Teresa arrives in town with a suitcase and a face full of relief and dread. When she finally sees Ethan again, the years of uncertainty fall away in one breath.